Hi, folks. Tim Conti here with Cloud Collaboration Consultants based in Naperville, Illinois. Today, I've got a quick presentation for you how to choose the best unified communication solution without doing any research or talking to a biased sales rep. So let's get started. For the past 15 years, I've helped customers migrate from on-premise phone servers to a cloud-based unified communication solution. I've worked for the providers you're evaluating. I worked at Avaya, I worked at 8x8, I worked at Fuse, and then during a 2-year stint at CDW Corporation in downtown Chicago, I was the unified communications subject matter expert, which gave me intimate knowledge of solutions from Microsoft Teams, specifically Teams Voice, Zoom, and Cisco, to name a few. And my goal, the job there was to help evaluate the providers in the portfolio, the Gartner Magic Quadrant leaders, the non-leaders, the niche players. So I feel as though I've got a lot of value to offer you. I'm very passionate about this space, and I think you'll be hopefully pleased with the content that I share with you today. Before, in my model, I worked for these providers. In this new model with cloud collaboration consultants, I work for you. I sit on your side of the table. Um, Part of our value in the beginning is to give away to you free research. This research report alone is going to save you 20 to 30 to 40 hours of time by not having to research the market on your own. It's 100% unbiased. It's not a VoIP comparison website that they see out there when you download a white paper. We pulled 27 key evaluation criteria, everything from where the providers 8x8, Ring Central, Zoom, Teams, where they rank in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, what industry compliances do they have, what CRM integrations do they have, and much, much more is in the report. So the goal here is to arm yourself with as much information before you even pick up a phone and talk to any vendors. And again, this is a report that we provide you. Just give us an email address and we'll PDF it up for you and send it over for review. So really, you have two options when you're looking. If your business or company is considering a cloud unified communication solution, you can do it on your own, right? Which a lot of people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what we find is a lot of IT professionals don't have time to effectively research the market, don't have time to evaluate the providers and set up the calls and all the things that are associated with rolling out and implementing this solution. Option two is you work with me. I'm going to give you a ton of resource and value. You're going to get my, of course, time and industry expertise, but also my knowledge of the market, everything from pricing to contracts to you name it. The goal is the easy button here in terms of the evaluation, implementation, and adoption of a unified communication solution. Right? So introducing 10 steps to UCaaS success for IT leaders. That's what we're calling the framework. And let me take you through kind of what you get here. One, you get a 60-minute video consultation like this with myself. And in this consultation, you can ask anything about the players, the providers. If you want to talk pricing, we can do that. Feature, functionality, capability, we can go as deep or as high level as you want. If you want to bounce off an idea of a provider you're looking at and get our initial thoughts, part of just evaluating these providers is we're around after the sale, so we see how they implement, we see how they support the clients. When you go out and do this on your own and go direct, the minute you sign that contract and the ink is dry, you're really out without options. But in our ecosystem, our model is completely different. We have the ability to do escalation paths and to get you to the right group within the provider's ecosystem, and that's a big group on the support side. We get you right to the top of the list. So that's the 60-minute consultation. The research report I already provided you, but one thing we do as an added bonus is within our software and application, we can set specific criteria that's specific to you, and then it's going to give us a list of providers that are most relevant to you. And that's what we do in the more consultative matrix. The first report is just a fixed report with 5 to 7 providers on there. The report on the consultation side that we do with you is we actually go through the evaluation criteria together. And then that way we provide a custom research report that's relevant to your situation. When we get to the next level, unbiased vendor selection, we got a really cool tool and process that we spent a ton of time and ton of money. I know one of my peers in the industry actually charged $5,000 for just this stage. And essentially what it is it's an online web form that you complete, you fill out. It takes about 7 to 10 minutes. And we usually do it over the phone with you. And then we click submit. And then that goes to my team of subject matter experts that analyzes your survey, your questionnaire, your data, and then immediately shortlist the providers for you. So you don't have to go and do it on your own. I'll share a quick story. I met with a IT director recently, and we met through my son's school. It's a co-op school, so you do work around the school together. And we did the old, as we were shoveling mulch, it's like, oh, what do you do? And I told him what I did in the space that I was in. I asked him, obviously, the same question. And after I told him what I did, he's like, oh, are you familiar with XYZ company? And I was. It's one of the leading providers in the market. And he's like, before we chose that provider, we spent countless hours trying to identify someone that could offer Salesforce integration, but also provide the best Salesforce integration. That was their key driver. They wanted to live in Salesforce, they wanted to live in the CRM, and they wanted the phone system to be an extension of that. And had he used me up front and I took him through the tools, I would have saved him 20 hours of just kissing a lot of frogs and a lot of vendors that didn't have the level of integration he was looking for. He had to sit through demos and do a bunch of stuff that he didn't have time to do, and eventually got to the right provider. But had he had this consultation available to him, he admitted when I showed him the tool, he's like, wow, he would have saved me a ton of time. We also set up demos, and here's the key with a demo. Every provider runs a standard demo. At this point, I don't even know why they just don't pre-record it and send it to you, because it doesn't take into account the customer situation normally. They just want to show their bells and whistles and things that may or may not be relevant to you. We have a script that we ask them to follow that's very specific to your environment. So if analytics are important, we're going to focus on analytics. If productivity is important, or mobility, or whatever it is, those are the things that we're going to make sure they focus on. That way these demos don't get dragged out. And then afterwards, you're not asking, why did I spend countless hours sitting on that demo that wasn't relevant? Pricing negotiation, this one's huge. I have seen every single provider contract known to man in every size, everything from 1 user up to 10,000 users, everything from Zoom United, which is their new kind of package solution from Zoom, Ring Central 8x8, Microsoft Teams. We're expert on Teams voice in terms of pricing. I know what levers to push, what buttons to push, when to push them. I won't equate this in any way, shape, or form to going out and buying a car, but you do kind of want to follow some certain things, and that is knowledge. Knowledge is power. When you understand where your industry peers, what price points they were able to get to by negotiating hard, we help you do that. And in an ethical manner, we pit these providers against each other to get you the best value, the best deal. It's not about the lowest price. It's not about cheap VoIP. It's about getting you the most value, and value can be a free custom implementation. It can be free training. It can be a variety of different things, including a very aggressive seat cost, maybe some free phones, and whatnot. Contract terms and conditions, this one's big. We tell you what clauses to absolutely take out, and we tell you which ones to put in. It goes both ways. You want to remove some clauses, add some clauses. We know for a fact that some of these have been approved already through certain vendors, so there shouldn't be too much pushback. But if you're either don't want to go out and hire an expensive lawyer, we've marked up the contracts already for you, or if you just don't want to wait in queue with your internal legal counsel trying to review your contract so you can get this solution rolled out and get the productivity benefits, we help you do that with our contract terms and conditions. Proof of concept is available. It's optional, but if you want to prove out the solution in a lab environment or out at your location, we also has a script for this that ensures that we know what we're trying to evaluate, why it's important to your business, and then we coach these vendors to not just ship you phones and you plug them in and make a call. There's no value there. Where there is value is tying it into your CRM system or bringing different groups within your company into the equation as far as the evaluation. There's a ton of value there, and that's where we help. Total cost of ownership, I have a really cool TCO tool that compares the on-prem, which most of our clients are on-prem, Avaya, Mitel, whatnot, Cisco, moving to a cloud-based unified communication solution. And we've got a full-blown total cost of ownership ROI tool that we use to help you get financial justification for your project. Of course, at some point, someone's going to ask the IT team, what's this cost? And benchmark it versus what you currently spend for your on-prem and your trunking and whatnot. And we provide this as like, it looks like a business case. And if you've got any questions, I can send you a copy of the report as well, so you can see it. Professional installation, this one is huge. If you take nothing from this presentation, don't fully trust the vendors that say this is plug and play technology. Yes, can I take a phone home and plug it in and make and receive calls into my internet connection? Yes. Can I activate my account and go on and download the soft client, start making and receiving calls? Yes, that part's plug and play. But when you talk about porting numbers and getting phones on desks and integrating with your CRM, all that requires someone to do the work. It's either going to be you doing the work or the vendor doing the work. And if you feel as though with this solution, the vendor's automatically going to be doing a lot of this hand holding, unfortunately, that's not the case. And I've seen that firsthand. And I actually insist on a lot of projects that we subscribe and do the vendor's professional pro service or professional installation. And I got a little secret for you. I've got a way to get that for free as part of this overall solution. Training and adoption really kind of falls in that same thread, right? It's the same. You want to have a custom training built into the solution just for you in certain groups. And then when we get past training, we've got tools to make sure your end users are adopting the technology. That is the key. The only way you're going to get the productivity benefits that you are hoping to get is if your end users adopt the technology. And we've got a checklist and some white papers based on real-world implementations on how to do that. So here's what you get with the Cloud Collaboration Consultants program. You get, first and foremost, private video consultation. For an hour, we value that at $300. You get the Unified Communications Research Report that I showed you, value that at $5,000. The unbiased vendor selection, $2,500. Customized product demonstrations, $1,000. Proposal negotiations, $5,000, and that's being generous. We could easily call that 10 or 15,000, depending on how much savings or what value we provide to get you a lower cost proposal. The no charge proof of concept, $1,000. Contract terms and conditions, $1,500. Professional installation, $5,000 or more. Professional training and adoption, $2,500. And then lastly, we didn't cover it in the slides, but we will include a project manager, project coordinator, and an escalation path during the implementation. We'll sit on those kickoff calls with you and help you navigate some of the things you're going to be responsible for doing. And it'll be someone from my team that's got years and years of experience doing that. So the total value there is $24,050. We're also going to throw in 4 bonuses for you. Bonus number 1 is the top 5 UCaaS traps. These are things that a lot of people miss up front. Overhead pagers and door buzzers and fax machines and some of the things you don't think about. But even outside of that, reception console. And there's just a lot of different kind of traps that are consistent. We want to make sure that you avoid those up front. So for that bonus. Bonus 2, the contract language tips and tricks. We'll give you that report that gives you the clauses to add to the agreement and also take out of the agreement as well. Bonus number 3, the adoption and how to increase the adoption, the checklist, as well as the white paper on how to appropriately get your end users to get the productivity benefits that your business is looking for. And then bonus 4, this one's a big one. Every quarter, the vendors release to the partner community, like myself, the trusted advisors, they release the vendor report, or excuse me, the vendor promotions. These are customer promotions for you. And they're all different. And every vendor has a different one. We compile them all together and we provide that to you. And we can do that for you on a quarterly basis. So this is really important, because even if one of the providers has a better promotion than the other, we can leverage that promotion from one provider to get the provider that you're interested in to honor it, and we do that all the time. So all that total value, 24,546, all this for $995. That's it. It's a one-time payment due at the beginning of the project. I can absolutely guarantee you, with us at your side through this implementation, you're going to look back at this and say $995. Wow, Tim should be charging a lot more for this level of service. And the reason why we priced it the way we did is we're passionate about the space. We want to help as many IT directors as possible over the next few months leverage and use our services so we can get more feedback on what to tweak, what to add. We know we've been doing this at CDW Corporation. I did this for a number of years. I've done this as a consultant, and we know there's a tremendous amount of value, but we can always improve. So for a period of 60 to 90 days, we're going to honor the $995 price point. It's a one-time payment, and you get all the things that we covered. As far as a guarantee too, if you go out on your own, and I am so confident in the value that I'll pay you $300 if you complete our initial discovery call. And if you're not satisfied with my recommendations and the providers, and you go through our process and you feel as though you could do it better on your own, I will pay you $300. How's that for a guarantee? So that's it. There's the link on the program itself. If you'd like to get started, the next step would be after you submit the application. My team will review it, and then we'll assign a project team, which starts with the initial consultation kickoff call. So that's what I've got for you today. Thanks for listening. Good luck on your digital transformation journey. We're here to help. Been there, done that. Think of us as, again, sitting on your side of the table throughout this entire process, everything from evaluation to adoption, both ends of the spectrum. Thanks for listening.